You are now tuned into DAR Sports Media, the college football show. A big one, as this is the biggest week so far of college football. They sure picked a fucking interesting night to go ahead and release these rankings. I'm not sure if anything, kind of important that would have had the people distracted was going on Tuesday, but we are back and better than ever, and we got these rankings, the first college football playoff rankings, the ones that matter, are out this week. And I think the first thing that leapt out to me is our boys, Boise State. As of right now, they are in. They would be in number 12, and I think that they would have a shot against whoever they would play in that first round. I believe it would be number 2, number 2, Ohio State. I mean, shit. They took Oregon to the limit, right? And Oregon beat Ohio State, so I think Boise State would have a chance. Other ones, and also, I'm excited to see BYU getting up in there at the number 9 slot as well. The rest of them kind of expected. A little bit surprised that Texas A&M is being left out completely already, especially when you got like a Penn State in there that I don't think anybody thinks would make any fucking noise in this tournament. But what have you? Tay, what stands out to you to these first rankings, man?
I see Alabama. I see they're pushing them in.
Yeah, there we go. I told you.
I'm actually looking right now. I got something pulled up. I have all the teams in the top 25, like their percent chance in making it. They're at 61 right now. So I mean, pretty much all they gotta do is they got LSU. They don't have a tough last 3 games. They got LSU, they got Oklahoma, and they got Auburn. I would take them in all 3 of those games. They could blow a game. They haven't been as good. They're better than them though. But yeah. Also, Notre Dame is in, and They don't really have.
It's been a long road, man. Long road back, but goddamn.
Yeah. They just had an off week, like I was saying. But again, Notre Dame, they have an easy last 3 games too. Well, at least in my opinion, they got Virginia. They got Army and they got USC. I'm not gonna say Army's easy, but I do think Notre Dame's gonna beat them. They're gonna take the undefeated card from them. So yeah, but I'm a fan of the playoff format. I love it. I love how Boise State's getting a chance to. Who knows what they do? Like they're definitely a good football team. So yeah.
How do you feel about your guys, old Oregon number 1 there?
Oh, I already knew that before the season started. I mean, no one's gonna beat us. We got Maryland, beat them by 100. Wisconsin, beat them by 50. Washington, we lost to Washington only last season. So I do not like Washington more than anyone else right now. So I want to beat Washington. I want the coaches to come to an agreement and play a 10-minute third quarter and fourth quarter against Washington. I want to blow the doors off of Washington so bad because they beat us twice. That's the only team you lost to. They lost to Michael Penix and them twice. We need to blow them out by 100,000 points. But, I mean, yeah, Oregon's going to be number 1. Oregon's going to stay number 1. Oregon's going to win national championships. Yeah, that's how I feel about Oregon.
I'm looking at this bracket. And obviously things are most likely going to change between now and then. But it's just fun to talk about what's up there so far. Ohio State, Boise State is the matchup in the first round. Mm-hmm. And the winner would move on to go against BYU. That tells me Boise State could have a legitimate shot at going into the Final Four. Yeah. You don't think Boise State could beat?
Oh no, they can. They can. But just think about that. BYU versus Boise State. I never thought I would hear that in a college football.
Here we go. Hey, fucking access. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Axe, what do you think of these initial playoff rankings, man?
Well, Miami at 4 whoever they play, their first round out. They've been really getting some lucky, fortunate wins. I mean, shout out to Cam Ward. He's nice and everything, but fuck them. Like, they be scraping by a lot of the times. I'm just going to be real. I haven't been on in a while, so I got to throw out a little hate. Yeah, I'm salty. I don't care. They got one good year. Now they trying to act like the U's back. You know how they get down. But
I mean, I don't know if that slot's going to either of them. I don't know if they're beating Clemson, to be completely honest with you. So,
right. I definitely think Oregon's the favorite. This might be the year where they put it all together and win a national championship. Dylan Gabriel's been playing well. Team's been elite.
They do seem like the most solid team, top to bottom, in the nation.
Yeah, for sure. They seem like
because Georgia is pretty loaded, but man, their fucking offense just goes missing.
Becky's regrets really badly, bro.
Yeah, bro. His draft stock is gone too. He was supposed to be in the top 10. His stock is gone. I looked the other day. He's supposed to be going like the third round now. Like as of now, his stock.
He's been an interception machine this year, man.
His draft stock. Yeah, I think he threw 3 interceptions like 2 weeks in a row. Like he just been turning the ball over left and right. He ruined his NFL stock and everything. He might come back.
And that is that what happens when McConkey and Bowers go to the NFL?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
might be a merchant in
Georgia though.
He might be.
Come on. It's still Georgia, man.
Another interesting aspect to this, if we're going like, okay, who would actually be in that slot? That BYU slot. Do you know what team I'm about to mention would have a shot at possibly taking that slot? Oh, man. Colorado, the Colorado Deion Sanderses, they are currently, I believe, in third place in the Big 12. It's not a fucking impossible scenario for that to happen. The access of this playoff, the parity, fucking tremendous. Any other thoughts on the possible matchups in the first batch of rankings there, Axe?
I'm really intrigued to see how Indiana finishes this year. This is the best Indiana team we've ever seen. So I want to see how they do in the Big Ten championship. Like if they match up with, the Ohio State, or if they match up with Penn State. And it's still like a lot of
they're packing up Penn State.
I believe so, but it's just like so many Big Ten teams in that top 10. It's going to be a lot of like moving parts. Like the Big Ten is really Big Ten and SEC. Like we discussed earlier in the year, they kind of control this top 12 for the most part. Shout out to Boise State and BYU. I think they can get wins, but it's still a lot of moving parts. And Tay, you mentioned earlier,
it's easy to forget that the Big Ten championship they would be going against Oregon.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
But I mean, I think they could still, if they only have one loss, I think they're still going to get in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if that one loss is to Oregon, to the number 1 team, I think they're still going to get in.
And I know Tay mentioned Bama playing LSU earlier. They could probably lose that game. That's not a guaranteed win to me. Like that's still up in the air because Bama they'll have some shaky performances here and there. Like, that's not a guaranteed win in my opinion. Like we said earlier, man, this is probably the most parity I've seen in a year since 2009. Probably even more.
Yeah.
It's hard to really tell who.
Because a bunch of teams who had a good established position went down this weekend. The Texas A&M and Penn State.
Still, it's week by week, man. And, like, it would be dope to see Colorado get this far. They already have had a great season.
Yeah.
Like, it was to get to the playoffs in the second year of the rebuild, man. You can't say nothing negative about Deion and the Buccaneers.
people will try. People will try. People tried to. I mentioned this last week. People try to tell me, it's not as good because he used all transfer players. As if those same fucking people were saying using all transfer players was one of the reasons he was going to fail. You fucking remember that as clearly as I do. That's what people were saying. So it's fucking so even if they do make the playoffs, somebody will somehow try to turn some sort of negative or try to discount that it didn't count, man. It's fucking them Deion haters are religious fucking level. Lee, this is a good entry point because we could talk about Ohio State's position in this playoff. And we could talk about this game this past weekend with Penn State going the exact fucking way that we all predicted that it would. Penn State's offensive play calling was just, man, that was fucking diabolical down there in the end zone. Goal to go, 2 yards for a score. The fucking final play got 2 guys out in the pattern, and the fucking quarterback is throwing into triple fucking coverage over the middle. That's what you got for fucking 4th and goal from the 2. Just the nastiest work, man. Nasty work. Tell us about that game, and tell us about this. What your thoughts are on this first college football playoff ranking release.
Well, that game it was a lot less stressful than I thought. Look, it got. I was like, wait a minute. Will Howard throws a pick six on his first pass. That had me nervous for a sec, but those 2 touchdown drives they had, it calmed everybody down. It took the crowd out the game. But then when Will Howard fumbled the ball out of the end zone, I was like, oh, there goes the momentum. And the momentum could have really went Penn State's way if Igbinosa didn't make that interception in the end zone. Like, that's points taken away on both ends. And like you said, the play calling by Penn State, I would think they would run the ball in one of those downs. Like, that's what Katron Allen is there for, to be that bruising back, to punch it in the end zone. But they tried. They were looking for Warren in the end zone on that 4th and goal, but that's what you have Caleb Downs for, to take that away, make him find somebody else, and Howard just couldn't. Plus that 5-minute drive to run out the clock, that was beautiful by the Buckeyes.
One thing I do want to comment on, I think maybe some people might be a little bit irritated about. You got the oh wow, okay, I guess they're the first team out, number 13. It's SMU, the undefeated SMU Mustangs, undefeated in the ACC. That's rough, man. That's going to be a knife fight there at the end between them Clemson and Miami. I don't think SMU plays anybody for the rest of the year, so it's going to be the ACC championship.
Ain't got no love for the ACC, Eric. You know that.
Damn. Yeah, I guess that's the fucking deal. True. Thoughts on the first college football playoff rankings that just came out this past week?
Give me a second. I have missed a lot of things. I saw Oregon was one, obviously, right?
Yeah.
You said SMU was
number 13, was first team out, undefeated.
I saw Boise State was 12.
How many times has fucking Bama lost this year? 5? I don't know. It's what it feels like. You got their sorry asses in it. Undefeated SMU gets nothing.
All right, hold on. Let me try to get this up.
They got a win, and they got an early win against BYU too. I mean, well, BYU beat them, but
I don't really have any major feelings on it. I do agree with what you're saying in terms of Bama. I think we talked. Did we talk about this? I think we talked about this. I want to say Tay said it, right? That like Bama was going to always find their way.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I think we all been saying it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like none of that is surprising. I'm struggling right now with my current Wi-Fi to pull up the actual list in front of me. But if based on what you're saying, if Bama was on it and Bama was like a part of it, that's probably the only thing I will have that's a slight issue, personally. I'm waiting for it to load up now. But yeah, based on what I'm hearing from y'all, Oregon number 1, SMU on there. Boise State was 12. I believe I remember that. So I don't really have any issue with it. I think I do want to touch on the Penn State, Ohio State.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I have no positive things to say about Penn State. I think we've established this on this show now. But I was slightly surprised at how the game went. Personally, I wasn't. I guess I wasn't expecting it to go exactly the way it went. The saying I've been kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop for Penn State, and I also when I came in, I heard Dion. I heard something about Dion being mentioned. I hope I did not miss a spirited conversation about Colorado. But I'm sorry. Was Georgia number 2? Because it's not pulling it up for me. Was Georgia number 2 on his rankings, or were they something else? They're 3. Okay,
They're 3. Yeah,
they're 3.
No, they're not number 2. Ohio State's number 2.
Ohio State's number 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Ohio State got it done. Penn State, couldn't get it done. I was pleased with that. I didn't really have too much to say about that. I do wonder how these next couple weeks are going to shake out, especially with like you said, SMU being number 13 so far. I'm not a big Bama guy heading into the playoffs and stuff like that. So I'm not really. Like I said, I don't want to personally see Bama in the playoffs. If I could be honest, I don't really want to see them, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see him in the playoffs, but hey.
Speaking of it is what it is. Tay, Maryland is going to Oregon across the country. The spread is 25. That's free money, right?
Yeah, we'll beat them by 40.
40.
I mean, it looks
40.
Hey, man. Hey. I mean, Maryland did beat USC, so I don't know if they're trash, but across the country to the number 1 team in the nation, 25 sounds mighty tempting.
Maryland has no home field advantage, Eric. Like, going to College Park, that means nothing. Like, Oregon to be fine.
No, Maryland is going to Oregon.
They going.
That's
to Oregon.
the problem.
All right. Yeah. I'm agreeing with Tay. I thought you said Oregon was coming to Maryland.
Another one that intrigues me.
Maryland by 7.
Another one that intrigues me.
Hey man, let me cook. Let me cook.
Your day is coming. Oregon's gonna have to go. Oregon's gonna have to go visit Purdue someday, and it's gonna be a fucking problem.
I'm gonna throw 50 cents.
35-0. They didn't score a single point. Their quarterback didn't have 100 passing yards.
Hey, what's the odds on taking Maryland? Like on taking Maryland, I'm gonna toss like 50 cents. I'm gonna toss 50 cents. It's gotta be like plus 900, plus 1200.
Maryland money line. Yeah.
I'm gonna take that shit.
Interesting to me, even though Michigan is very down this year. Michigan got a bunch of fucking Applebee's bartenders playing quarterback. Michigan, so Indiana is having their magical season, right? Michigan is coming to Indiana, 4:00. I think that we've talked about this before. If you're really fancy yourself a great team, you gotta just handle business games. Michigan is still Michigan. It's not just the mentality too. Like, how many times do you see that block M come against IU and you just take it for granted that IU is going to beat them? I'm not at that point yet. So I'm interested in that game. I'm interested to see if IU can keep it going, go out there and handle business, keep this thing rolling. You guys, Tay, you got any thoughts on that game?
I would have Indiana. I would have Indiana beating them, like handling them, beating them by like 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I think Indiana's actually good.
You think so? They're 2X?
Yeah, I think Indiana's legitimate, and I think Michigan's quarterback play has been so bad this year.
Yeah,
that they're just gonna get smoked. I just don't really see it being that competitive. I think Georgia and Ole Miss might be the most competitive game.
That was the next game I was going to talk about. The next potential landmine for these rankings. Georgia going to Ole Miss. Ole Miss at number 16. They're not completely dead, especially if they can pull off this win. So we've talked about that Georgia offense just going on the side of a milk carton for
What's the spread look like for the game?
five drives at a time. Hold on, let me look.
It is Georgia
Georgia
minus 2.5.
Georgia by 2.5.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if you're a legitimate number 3. I don't know if you should only be favored by 2.5 points over number 16. Sneaky. It's a deceptively sneaky, scary, competitive game. Axe, you look like you had thoughts on it.
Just want to see if Jackson Dart can have like that big win, and if Lane Kiffin get that big win.
Yes. 2 people who don't get big wins, so that is also a concern.
I'm intrigued. I want to see. This is their moment. Like, you right outside, knocking on the playoff door. You got to make it shake, man. Like, and then we discussed earlier with Carson Beck playing so bad with interceptions. Yeah. I'm intrigued with this game. So I think it'll be competitive, but it's a statement game for Ole Miss. They have to win. But I don't know. Kirby Smart's such a great coach, man. I don't know. It's a toss-up. I might roll with Georgia just based off of coaching alone, but I don't think it'll be a blowout.
True, you got any thoughts there on the game of the week, the matchup of the week?
I'm a roll with Georgia, but I think it'll be a close game. That's why I asked what the spread was. I just wanted to see. I always like to kind of see where where like odds makers and where their minds are and how they see a game going, because sometimes they can get it spot on or get it like it'd be a really close game, and then sometimes like the spread will be like 3.5 and motherfuckers end up losing by 25 or some shit. So I was just kind of curious as to where they saw the game. I don't count Ole Miss out, but I gotta go with Georgia. I feel like it's hard for me to bet against Georgia right now, even though obviously they're number 3, but their day is coming. I just don't think it's Saturday. Put it like that.
Leave thoughts on that matchup.
Yeah, like what Ag said, Lane Kiffin, Jackson Dart, they haven't had a signature win yet, and this is set up for them, especially the way Carson Beck is giving up the ball at a high level. I'm going with Ole Miss to win this game.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take Ole Miss to win this game.
10 day.
I mean, if they're gonna do it, this is fucking it. This is it. You're probably gonna you're probably gonna have a good shot at getting in the playoff if you win. It's a home game. Knocking off Georgia, like if there's ever a time, like this is the time.
Right, Jordan Watkins had a historic day. I know it was against Arkansas, but if he can do that, and if Trey Harris can come back too, that should bode well for Ole Miss on Saturday.
So the other one I would say it like this. It's an elimination game unless Alabama loses, because is Alabama ever in a true elimination game? Motherfuckers. Gonna make the playoffs with fucking 8 losses and shit. Alabama, I'm loving Alabama against number 15 LSU. You would think in a logical and just world, whoever loses this is done. What do you think there, Tay? Alabama at LSU.
The reason why I don't think LSU needs it more than Alabama.
Yeah.
For sure. They're a little further back. And then after LSU, if they do lose to Bama, they don't have any ranked games left. Like, there will be no way for them to come back. You know what I mean? So LSU, they need to win out. They need to win out. They're already 6-2. Kind of pushing it. I think teams can get in with 3 losses. But
we're gonna find out. I think. Yeah.
I think Georgia can get in with 3 losses.
Yeah, they love to do the SEC for sure.
Yeah, you can get in with 3 losses.
So you think LSU is going to take it?
Nah. I think
Okay.
Alabama's
gonna rock them to sleep.
team. Yeah, they're Alabama's just a better team.
What do you think they're Axe?
I really don't trust Jalen Milroe. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know
Speaking
what
of
it is.
offenses that go missing for long periods of time,
Yeah, he just.
I don't know if it's a round peg in a square hole or what's going with that system or like what's going on.
Just sometimes he'll look so dope, man. He'll look
yeah,
like
it'll look incredible sometimes.
And then sometimes he'll look like Cleo Lemon and shit. So it's like, man, what the fuck you got going on, dog? So I mean, it's gonna be competitive. Like Tate said, LSU needs it more than Bama. I might roll with Bama, but because LSU's defense is kind of shaky at times. But I don't know. It's a toss-up, man. It's gonna be competitive. It'll be high scoring. It's not gonna be like them game of the centuries in the 2000s. Like, ain't gonna be no 6-3 ass game. I got Bama winning by like a touchdown, maybe 10. But
Man,
like,
I had a great fucking night the night of that game, that 6-3 game. I'll never forget it. It's a night game. It's night game. Night game at Death Valley.
That might change.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We're rocking out there.
I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it.
Alabama,
they're gonna walk in there with their suit and tie on. They're gonna get on that field. They're gonna step all over LSU just like they did in Georgia. It's gonna be one of them games, like when they just dominated Georgia. That's what they're about to do. I don't know. I'm not feeling LSU upset. I don't know.
Okay. What do you think? They're true.
The Hot Boys just reunited this past weekend.
Oh yes,
and with that,
it has a big impact.
And with that, I'm gonna go LSU. But let me just preface this by saying I give no fucks about either one of these teams. I have no desire to see Alabama succeed. I have no desire to see LSU succeed. However, because the Hot Boys reunited and was on stage with the big timers, I'm gonna go with LSU. It has absolutely nothing to do with football. Absolutely nothing to do with football. But
the
momentum
region is on a roll right now.
Wow, the momentum is there. We back. The Hot Boys is back. LSU is gonna be the reason why Alabama don't make it. It's gonna be the reason why Alabama don't make it. Because what there is no classic groups that come from who came from Alabama. Is there any rappers from Alabama? Dirty. That's right. Dirty. Okay, you're right. You're right. They was cool. Wait, where was Nappy Roots from? They from Mississippi?
No, they're from Kentucky. They're from
Kentucky. Okay,
yeah, it's a very big part of their act.
Okay. I was trying to think because I was like, I know they're from somewhere. All right, so fine. Still, Alabama. Dirty ain't got nothing on the Hot Boys, man. They ain't got nothing on the Hot Boys. So I'm gonna go with the Hot Boys. I'm gonna go with BG, Turk, Juvie, and Wayne. That's what I'm going with. I really could care less about who wins this game. I just would hope neither one of them make the playoff. That's my hope. That neither one of them. But
Lee, what do you think, man?
Death Valley is a place where opposing teams' dreams come to die.
Hey, there you go.
Goodbye
to Alabama season.
Yeah, I'm going with LSU. Going there as a road team when you need a win. Yeah. You guys made good points about Jalen Milroe though. Like he was coming into the season like one of the Heisman favorites, and this year he's had so games against Tennessee and South Carolina, and even the second half against Georgia wasn't that great until he threw that pass to Ryan Williams. So, yeah, I got LSU at night winning this game.
Wow, that's right.
So, Axe, you're here. This man, Lee Harvey, has been perpetrating this filth on this podcast about this fucking Cam Ward Heisman situation.
Call him out. Facts. So, call him out.
Honestly speaking, last time I was on here was like probably 3 shows ago. I did mention Cam Ward. He's playing at a high level. I mean, he a risk taker for sure, but he up there for sure. Like, I mean, it's him, it's Genty, And like, I want to shout out Genty. I do want to see how he does against like the top competition. So I hope Boise State can hold onto the playoffs. I believe he's legit. He had a good game against Oregon. Cam Ward's definitely up there. It's Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, like Shador's playing at a high level. Genty. I think that's probably like the race. I mean, I'm an FSU fan. I'm a Canes hater. They don't want to have one good year. Like, it's like, Mike Norvell, he's a Jordan Travis merchant. And like Crystal Ball is a Cam Ward merchant. Like, he trying to talk spicy, like, oh, well, you need to build culture. Like, motherfucker, y'all had 5 years. Fuck out of here. You got one hot year. Now you trying to hang your chest out. Like, we won the ACC last year. We're having an off year. We're going to get smoked by Notre Dame this Saturday. I'm probably going to barely watch it. If I'm going to watch it, I'm going to be drunk as hell. I can't watch our game sober, dog. It's going to be real.
That's got to stop the debate.
But that's why I say Cam Ward is the Heisman favorite for me, because before Cam went to Miami was struggling on offense. Thanks. They couldn't find a quarterback. Right? Yeah. I mean, when they did win 10 games, they had Malik Rozier. Was he good enough to win 10 games like that? It was the defense making plays.
Hey.
This year, Cam comes to Miami, and now they average over 500 yards in every game. They scoring at least 35, 40 points a game, maybe even more than that. I mean, he's turned that whole program around in 1 year, and for them, it's unfortunate it's only going to be for this season.
I'm salty as a Knowles fan because it was between him and fucking DJU. We chose bum-ass DJU, gave him $800,000. We got one win. So, like, I watch this Cam Ward shit. I'll be sick as hell, man. I ain't going to lie to y'all.
Just on the porch smoking cigarettes, shaking.
I'm not smoking weed at the moment, so I'm like drinking beer, miserable as shit. Like, just drowning my sorrows. Like, oh man, we ain't gonna score 20 points. We out here scoring 15 points like 1958.
Hey, Ax, what beers you got,
bro?
Wait, what beers you drink, Ax?
Like Platinum, man. I can't drink alcohol because I ain't got no thyroid no more. So I'm drinking Bud Light Platinum's miserable as shit.
Wow.
Well, we hope that you won't need to drink or throw any back or kill any sorrows when you check out the DAR Sports Media page. We got the NFL show up from earlier on this week, man. What a miraculous season. Them damn Washington Commanders. We're all having a blast with it. Check that out. We talk about that and so much more on the NFL show earlier on this week. It's already posted. The NBA Hoops Hour is back. DAR Sports Media giving you in-depth rundown of everything that's going on in the NBA, who's standing out, who's doing good, who's on the way down. It's a real fun hour of basketball every week. It's posted up. It's on Mondays. Me and True are looking good for a week in wrestling this week. Plenty of stuff to dig into, stuff that True's had on his mind, had on his heart.
I forgot now. I forgot it already. I forgot it now. So
yeah. Of course, the Medium site going off. I mean, article after article after. God damn! What did I see today? What is this, like 5, 6, 7 articles?
In the last
getting
four in the last 24 hours. Yeah, 4 in the last 24 hours that went up.
The Medium site is fucking crushing it, and we are so close. 11/11.
Monday
new album coming out Monday, so be ready for that. All streaming platforms. That turn of the century type rap that I love, that everyone in our age group loves. So absolutely check that out. It's not like anything else you're going to hear right now. So much better. And we got everything going on. Music, basketball, football, college football, wrestling, and so much more coming up soon. And that is because the world of DAR never stops.